So let's take it back to NBA 2K13, and I'm going to showcase a mode that has been forgotten about by a lot of people, but was pretty popular back in the day, and it was NBA Creating a Legend. So it was introduced in 2K11 with the Jordan Challenge. You could either enter a code, or when you beat the Jordan Challenge, you would get the ability to use Jordan on any modern day NBA team in a My Careers type of fashion. So I decided to go with Kobe because this was the year, pretty much like his last, you could say his last year of his prime. The team with Steve Nash and Dwight Howard that never fell through. So I'm gonna try to rewrite history with our boy Kobe and get him that last ring to tie MJ. And you know, this was back before the park really got big, and My Career was pretty much the main selling point of 2K. And this was added on as like an extension of My Career. Now I know in modern 2K you can always just player lock on to any individual player you want to in your season, but I don't know, I wish this experience would come back because it felt a little bit more authentic being locked on to your player and not having any type of control. Now here's a feature that is available in Creating a Legend mode that you can't do on Player Lock My League, and that's to go do actual skill drills with legends. So I'm going to take our boy Mamba to go touch up on some off-ball movement with Jerry West. It's only right seeing that Jerry was the one that drafted Kobe and helped build those early 2000 Laker dynasties. And this is something on the newer 2Ks, I wish if this was implemented, they could have it to where you could have different drills based off your coach. So of course if you have like a D'Antoni as your coach, you can get a boost to your 3-point shooting. Or if you have Thibodeau, you can go to him for defensive drills. I mean, this mode I feel like has a lot of potential and a place in modern 2K for one reason in particular. The NBA is a players league. At the end of the day, people are always talking about who's the best, who's top 10, what's your all-time ranking. They're not really talking about teams. So what better than to have a mode where you could take over the legacy of your favorite NBA players and change it. In this case, I'm going to try to redeem Kobe's last shot at a title with the 2013 Lakers. And you know, if there was a year for Lakers to happen, this would have been the year. It would have been the perfect year. You would have had LeBron at his peak, Kobe in the last year of his prime, along with a great supporting cast. It just didn't work out because of the injuries, and then when they finally started getting together, Kobe went beast mode. He went down the Achilles, and I mean, I would argue that was pretty much the end of prime Kobe, sadly. I would have loved to have seen how his last years would have turned out without the Achilles and then the leg injury in 2014. Depending on the response I get in the comment section, I can definitely make a series out of this, taking Kobe and the Lakers to the finals one last time. It's just a travesty that him and LeBron never got to meet in the finals, and I hope whoever our next generation equivalent is of those two, I hope they get to have some playoff battles. The thing is, what sells the league is these individual player narratives. You have a lot of fans out here that are simply just a fan of a player rather than being a fan of the team. So why not put a mode back in the game where it can be strictly legacy based about getting your favorite player to where you want them in NBA history. Now whether that's taking a guy like Markelle Fultz and getting him to his superstar potential, or a middle tier star like Bradley Beal and you want to get him to the upper echelon. There's a lot that can be done with this, and there's a place for it in 2K. Sure, you already have My Career and Player Lock in My League, but at the same time, we still have Blacktop in the game despite having Park. There's separate modes for My League and My GM. One mode which explicitly focuses on you being a GM of one team. That is meant to be more authentic and realistic, as you don't get all the freedom and customization that you do in My League. So I don't think it's too much to ask to have a split off from My League that also incorporates some My Player elements as well. And the thing is, with today's game, there's so much they could do with it. For example, one of the few things that is good about modern Madden is the whole legacy score system, where all of your achievements, your awards, your titles are compared to players past and present, and you know, it gives you something to strive for. Now with the never-ending conversation among basketball fans and media all year round about who's the GOAT, who's catching up to MJ, so how about 2K put in a tracker in the Creating a Legend mode where it measures all of your achievements and it factors in things such as media narrative, rivalries with other players in the league that have surpassed you or are trying to surpass you. It would be a good way to take a spin on the whole My League experience, but from the sole perspective of your favorite player, without having to actually manage the whole team. In a way, it could end up being a testing ground for offline My Career ideas, because we all know outside of the main storyline on My Career, not much is done for offline My Career because the community is pretty small nowadays. I know personally for me, I kind of fell off with it when the experience started to get a little bit too grindy for it. It just stopped being enjoyable. It would be a good way to give that offline My Career experience without having to worry about grinding your player up to superstar status. You can just take over a player that's already there and at the same time get a different type of experience than from your regular My Career experience. There's also a chance to put in different type of player roles based off of their standing in the league. For example, with someone like James Harden, there would be immense pressure and goals revolved around performing well in the playoffs and eventually making a finals run. Whereas if you had someone like Bradley Beal again, it would be just the pressure to make the playoffs. It can be a very unique and varying experience from player to player. It wouldn't hurt the game to have it back. It's not affecting any type of online play. It's more so giving more for the offline gaming community. Which, I mean, we all know that going into this next gen, we can see that the offline community is starting to be left behind in the dust. Now, to 2K's credit, they've been pretty good at giving us a lot from My League. But if they want to know what more they can do, then the return of creating a legend mode is a big part of it. It would just give another level of immersion. Anyways, thanks for checking out the video. I will be back with some more content later on. Like I said, I'm willing to do a whole series revolved around Kobe and creating a legend or whatnot. Just let me know in the comment section if that's what you want. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you keep up to date with any new content I got coming out, and then hit you later.